no one here. Is anybody here? It's awful dark, isn't it? Fucking hell. Well, I sent all the invites out for the right date. So we've got 2 likes, but nobody's watching. It's be a laugh of you catching up, won't it? I'm just sitting here speaking. There's, oh, hang on, 2. Does that mean 2 people? 2 people are watching. We'll wait for people to gather. Grantine is here. Do you know what? What I was meant to do is get the actual live stream up so I can read the comments off my phone. It's bloody small, isn't it? How do I see that properly? Oh, lovely. Jack Daniels got 2 bottles at home. That's VTR. I've got your question here, VTR. What I'll do, how do I get these comments on permanently? Did he just, yeah, so I can keep that there. Yeah, I've got your question here. I'll answer it, VTR. We'll wait for everyone to gather. Evening, Matty. It's from Macklin's Motors. Yes, hello everyone. How are we? Are we good? Is everybody okay? Okay, so we've got 4 people watching. I think we're at our peak already. It's very fun, this, isn't it? I mean, there's better ways to spend your night, but there we go. 1,000 subscribers, eh? Who'd have thought it? Right, we might as well do your question now, VTR, and Macklin's Motors, seeing as you're here. That's 2 people here anyway. So VTR has asked me a question in the YouTube comments. Congratulations, pal. This is about the 1,000 subscribers. You deserve a lot more subs. When are you getting a VTR then? Good evening, Lloyd Vehicle Consultant. There's a little celebrity on the live stream tonight. So when am I getting a VTR? Well, it's a mad one, because the plan always was, right, so I got this Saxo, but the plan always was I'll get rid of that, you know, eventually, and trade up to a VTR or a VTS sort of thing. And obviously, you know, what's happened is that I've completely fell in love with my silver one, my little 1 litre, and I'm keeping that. I just, you know, 4 years later I've still got it. And then, so this is another story, which is for another time, but when I was good evening, whoever's saying good evening, when I was coming to scrap the Saxo, which is a story you'll hear next year, I was thinking, oh, do I get a VTR now? Do I treat myself? And the depressing thing is that if I buy another Saxo, what it's going to be really depressing, VTR, your question, is you know, all the same things going wrong with it that's gone wrong on my Saxo. For the people commenting, I hope I'm not losing your comments or your questions now they're here. So that's the answer, really. I don't know. I'd love a VTR, but it's sort of got to have to be the right time. But at the same time, you know, prices of them has just skyrocketed, isn't it? And as well, I'm on the owners page on Facebook, and a lot of VTRs are just complete bins, aren't they? You know, ones that have just been bombed everywhere and by boy racers in backwards caps and things like that, because you know, they're knocking on a bit now, aren't they, Saxos? You know, the newest one you can get is like a 2004 registered one. You know, they're really getting on a bit, and obviously it's not going to be little old ladies who've owned VTRs, is it? Yeah, good evening everyone. If you've just joined us, hello. Thanks for watching. We'll go, you know, as long as you want, really. You know, we'll see if we can get to around the hour mark. Ask as many questions as you want, cars or not cars. Whether I answer them, you know, that's another thing. We'll get on to Macklin's Motors question, who's left a comment in the video that I put on YouTube. Once I've done these questions, I'll get the live stream up on my phone, and I can, you know, be a little bit more intuitive to have a look at the comments. Did you always want a Saxo as your first car? Asks Macklin's Motors. No, I've, you know, a lot of you will know I'm like a broken record. I love Vauxhall Novas. I wanted one of them. As soon as I found, I mean, I'm looking for a new car on Auto Trader. This is when I passed my test, and I'm looking, and I can't, you know, a Vauxhall Nova, it's looking a bit pie in the sky like. And my next one was, I love old Citroens. So my next one was an AX. You know, I just, you know, don't even ask me why. I love them. I think they're a nice, although a basic design, a very nice design. You know, bottle of wine in the door bin and that. You know, I could imagine me taking someone down to the promenade, sharing a bottle of wine, looking over the sea. Lovely brown River Mersey, bottle of wine in the door bin. I couldn't find an AX, so next thing, you know, I'm compromising now. I'm thinking, all right, well, I remember these Saxos. You know, it's one of them cars. You know, I didn't pay much attention to them, but I always liked them. But I didn't know anything about what they were like to drive or anything. And I saw this Saxo in, you know, nice condition, 65,000 miles, I think it was. This is the one I've got now. And yeah, it was only in Manchester, so you know, I said, oh, I'll go and look at it. And me and my dad are on the way to Manchester, and my dad's winding me up saying, do you reckon the car will be on a big plinth in this dealership? It was from a dealership. Do you reckon it'll be on a big plinth manager special? Something like that. So, oh, shut up, Dad, and all that. Car had no wheel trims on or nothing. We get to the dealership, which was in Trafford. They'd actually parked the car in Burnley, way away from the dealership. It's a joke, by the way. And as soon as I seen it and I seen what sort of condition it was in and the way it ran and test drove it, and that, I thought, you know what, I'll have that. It just sort of took me chance on it, sort of thing. And you know, as I say, 4 years later, here we are. So no, Macklin's Motors. That, you know, it was never my first choice. Same way the way as me Peugeot 205 wasn't my first choice. But you know, you just sort of take a chance, don't you? And if I didn't like the Saxo, I wouldn't have kept it for as long as I have, sort of thing. So Wilson Detailing in the comments here on YouTube has said, when will we be comparing your Saxo versus my VTR? Hit me up, we'll make it happen. I know you're in Scotland, like, but you know, there's always a chance we can sort something out. Someone contacted me nearer to me to say, you know, do you want to test drive my VTR or VTS? I said, yeah. You know, he seemed quite keen about it, and I said, look, I've got some stuff on. And then when I got back to him, didn't reply to the message. So I've never driven a VTR or a VTS. Love to compare them. Yeah, hit me up. We'll probably sort something out in the new year. And finally, Rushy01 in the comments on YouTube. So here we go. We can get on to my live stream now from here and catch up with all the comments. He says, will you be selling any of your cars anytime soon? I bloody hope so. You know, you all know how much, you know, overrun my Peugeot 205 project has been. You know, Northern Trains have turned up quicker than my 205 has done. So yeah, we certainly will be selling a car soon, hopefully soon. The 205 definitely will be the next one to go. The Saxo, I was just saying earlier, in case you weren't here, don't know if the fella who's asked the question is here, but we have a bloody drink. I'm just off for breath. Jack Daniels and Coke, very nice. What are we all drinking, by the way? Is anyone having a drink? Let me know. I'll start reading these now. But yeah, the Saxo is, I don't think I'll ever sell it. When I've had the problems with it recently, which you will hear about, I thought, well, if I get it through its MOT, I'll sell it. But I just can't picture, I can't, you know, even begin to think about if I give that car away and sell it and someone scraps it, I'll just be broken hearted. So I probably won't ever sell the Saxo. The Saxo is, you know, going to be a bit like Bruce Forsyth. It's going to die on stage. When that car blows up, that'll be the end of it, you know. But I'm, you know, until then, I'm never getting rid of it. So YouTube comments, ask your questions. Yeah, I'm gonna get right to them right now. Yes, Grantine, yeah, lovely. Jack Daniels got 2 bottles at home. Yeah, done that. Good evening, Mr. Manning. Yeah, Joseph Lloyd there. Could be worse. You could be working. Well, I've just got back actually from my other job. I've got stuck all on the Dock Road in traffic, so I got back at 6:45. Just had to get ready just now. Evening one and all, says Tripe Munger. Hope that's not a euphemism. Lloyd Vehicle Consultant says, not really a celebrity, sir. Have you seen the shambolic shuffles? Well, look, you know, you don't have to be a, you know, it doesn't mean you're not a celebrity if you do a shambolic shuffle, or if you are generally in life shambolic. Anyone over a certain amount of subscribers on YouTube is considered a celebrity to me. So don't dumb yourself down, Mr. Lloyd. So your question, what happened with your Saxo in the end? So I rung Joseph to say, actually, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but I rung him about a car I was looking at to replace the Saxo, because, you know, it was, I will tell you the story at some point, but it was really, really looking like the Saxo had to go to the scrapyard in the sky. And I did a community post about that. So what happened to it in the end? Basically, Joseph, and you know what was wrong with it, but what happened to the Saxo was that I was able to get the repair done that was originally costing £600. I managed to get that down to £200, thanks to somebody I know in, you know, the motor trade, able to do it for us. So the Saxo, you know, is very much still with us. It got fixed. There's a few little bits that need doing on it to prevent anything major happening again. And then we've obviously got the MOT in early New Year. So a video about what's happened to the Saxo and when she had to go into casualty will be coming. A 3 year, was it 4? I think it's 3 year ownership update video will be coming in the new year. And just loads of Saxo content in the new year. I've you know, I haven't been doing it recently. I've been concentrating on the 205. You know, I'm looking on setting the 205 on fire. Actually, that'll avoid me having to insure it and MOT it next year. But anyway, Jesus, we'll have to catch up with some of these questions. Drinking water, as I have to do a drive later, sir. We did drink on the live stream last night. Yeah, you had a live. What were you drinking, Joseph? Hi, can I ask questions here, Gregory Bussocks? That's the aim, pal. Keep it clean. Where are we? Oh, I've got caught up with any of these. So, Matty, if you get a VTR, this is the grand scene, you'll be able to properly compete with my MX-5, unlike last time. Yes, we did a video about that on the grand scene, of Mazda MX-5 versus a 1 litre Saxo. An unfair test, may I add. But in terms of cool factor, you know, which car would you rather have, an MX-5, you know, or a Saxo? You subscribe to this channel, so I know what the answer is. I love Novas. There's 2 in my time. You lucky boy. I've never seen one in real life, I don't think. I might have probably seen one when I was like 2 in the pram, but you know, how am I meant to remember that? Gavin Shipman, Gavin and Stacey, yeah, had a VTS or VTR. He certainly did. He had 2. One pre-facelift, first generation in the first series, and I think he got a second one in the other one because it got written off or something. But yeah, you know, I always tell people that at parties, but I don't tell them that it was a VTR or VTS. I just let them assume that he had a 1 litre like me. Yes, Tom Mitchell is here. Yeah, one of my faves on YouTube, actually. I was going to say I don't do favourites. I do have favourites. Tom Mitchell, yeah. If you don't know him, have a little look at his channel. Rovers, Fiat Coupes, everything. If money wasn't a question, what would you do with the Saxo? Someone asked me this the other day because there's a local radio station giving away loads of money, and I entered it. You know, I took a punt and I entered it, didn't win. And someone in work said to me, you know, you won that 90 grand or whatever, would you keep the Saxo? I said, yeah. He went, fuck off. You wouldn't? I said, I would. I'd just pay to get it fixed up. I'd do all the little imperfections on it, like, you know, I can't justify fixing the bloody leaking sunroof, but if I won the 90 grand, I'd fix that. But then I'd have to get a shower before work. So anyway, Matty, if you buy one American car, what would it be? Mine would be a Lincoln Town Car. Remember those Lincoln Town cars? I had a die-cast model of one of them. I'm not a big fan of American cars, to be honest with you. If I did have to pick, it would probably be a big, because they do everything large in America, don't they? And it would probably be like a big camper van or something like a. Could you get those Dodge Rams in? Not the Rams, the vans that they. What did he have? The fella in School of Rock, the teacher, Dewey Finn. He had one of them big Dodge vans. I quite like one of them in camper van form. Thank you very much for answering my question, sir. £200 sounds very reasonable. Well, it was a reasonable price for the repair for the job that needed doing. Certainly was. Gregory Buttocks again, never gets old, that joke. I need a few extra bucks to get myself new the baby merch. Which is the easiest brand and model of car to break into and nick? Well, I don't know. New cars. I don't know who this guy is, by the way. This might be someone who's gradually going to ask more and more inappropriate questions. But I'm happy to answer which is the easiest brand and model of car to nick. Modern cars, I don't know, you know, but older cars. Used to be Ford, didn't it, with the keys? But really, if you've got a crowbar, old cars, you can just get into them. Especially the alarm systems and that, and the immobilizers can be a bit hit and miss. But it was always Fords back in the day with the keys, wasn't it? Novas, notorious for being any Vauxhall really. If you watch those old episodes of Traffic Cops and that, and they're really funny to see the cars that people used to steal. You always see the Aldastras and that. Getting broken into and hotwired and that. Tom Mitchell, can I tell what? Hang on. Oh, can you tell me why the Rover 75 is the best modern classic exec ever made? First of all, that statement is correct. And secondly, I think it's what the reason it's, for me, one of the best is because it always was the best. But what really cements that for me is that Rover, they couldn't win, could they? They were always on a losing streak, and they made such a good car in the 75. And the British public just, at launch, they sold enough, but the British public didn't take to it. And that was, I think that really, it was unavoidable for Rover. I think their sort of model and their, their brand was just becoming irrelevant. It was just going out of fashion. There was nothing they could do about that unless they really radically turned themselves around and changed their image up, which was never an option really for them. Unless they did that, there was nothing down for the 75. Unfortunately, around the time it came out, we were moving over to Audi, BMW. We were becoming snobs, and that's the way it was. It's a little bit like the MPV now. Ford leaders in the MPV for years and years. One would argue, doesn't matter what they come up with now with the MPV, or the Mondeo, for example. Doesn't matter what they come up with. We've moved away from it. It's changed. So Rover's whole brand was British, wood, leather, cream interiors, all sort of oldie worldy sort of stuff. And it was the best class. It's the best classic executive now, but it was a really good executive car back then, and we just didn't want it. And I could have answered that question a lot quicker. As Lloyd Vehicle Consultant, what are your thoughts on both? What the hell are these questions, Gregory? I don't know what. Both. If this is a porn site, okay, a Lord of the Rings character, mate. I don't know. I'm sorry to be. I'd love to answer your questions, but I don't know. I have an opinion on the Lord of the Ring characters. Tom is a legend. Lachlan's Motor, so you've heard of him, okay? Tom Mitchell, where are you based anyway? Based in Liverpool. I'm sure you know where Liverpool is. Where are you based? You've got a. Can I guess where you're based, Tom? Are you Leeds, somewhere glamorous like that? Do you want to borrow my 75? Oh, now we're talking. I really would. I was speaking to various people on Instagram about reviewing a 75, and we just couldn't get it. We couldn't get it arranged really. And I know there'll be 75s near me, but what it means really is, leaving a note on some old man's windscreen. Probably, I'm assuming there, I'm being stereotypical, but leaving a note or knocking on his door, and the people can be a bit. So Tom, if you'd like me to, or if you'd allow me to borrow your 75 and do a video, I'd certainly love to, or any of your cars. Let's, I'll come up for a week. I'll stay in the Premier Inn and just work my way through your cars. Old Defenders have terrible security, says Bailey Westy. I could imagine, actually. I didn't know that, but I could imagine. What do we all think of the new Defender? Because at launch, I sort of went along with everyone saying it's a yuppie car and all that sort of thing. But I like it, you know. I do like it. I'd have one. Only in 4-door though. I don't like the 3-door version. Unfortunately, with the Jack Daniels, there's no ice, and I'm having it with Diet Coke. You know, not the ideal combination, but a lovely Jack Daniels at that. Romy, Dave Rome, hello mate. Still up for doing some videos on my Vauxhalls and other sheds in the new year. Yeah, been speaking to Dave, only up the road from me. Ironically, that's you know, that's unheard of. Yeah, have you noticed all the car YouTubers seem to like live down south? It's mad, isn't it? Anyway, yes, I would, David. I'd love to review your old Vauxhalls and that. Yes, certainly would. 11 people still watching us. Oh no, 15 it says on there. Anyway, do you watch these videos on YouTube where they go around looking at abandoned cars in fields? I'm Stokes is good. I hope I pronounced that right. I know I haven't. I certainly do. I love. I need to expand me sort of, you know, YouTube. The people I subscribe to. You know, I only sort of subscribe to the people that I find and like. But I certainly do watch those videos. Have you seen the one? It's like a greenhouse and all the Rovers in it. I like that. Is it just Rovers or is it more stuff as well? But I love the barn find videos, and I love to, especially when you get to hear the story behind the cars. I love that. So yeah, I do watch them videos, and I really like them. Okay. Leeds, no Sheffield. Okay. So I'm assuming you're saying Leeds. Tom Mitchell, and you're saying no Sheffield. Sheffield, where the Arctic Monkeys are from. Brilliant, yeah. Only problem is with Sheffield, no jobs there. But yeah, Sheffield, great place. Not too far, actually. Message me on Instagram if you want to arrange after the stream. Yeah, cool, I will do, mate. I mean, at the moment I'm chocker with work, but it's not going to be before Christmas, obviously, as you'd know. But yeah, certainly will. Romy, I've got a Mark II Astra, 2 Novas, 3 Cavaliers, Carlton, Capri, Reliant Regal for you to use, Matty. Oh, is it my birthday or something? This is lovely. I've driven a Carlton, as some of you may know, and oh, it was just, you know, it's like going back in a time machine, being to another time. I love, you know, I'm driving around in that, and it's boss what cars reflect of you, isn't it? Like, you know, I drive all these cars for work, modern cars, you know, so not as good, but, you know, I'm pulling up at the lights, looking at people going, I wonder what they think of me in that Audi A4 or Audi A6 or something, high-flying executive, yeah. Keep the questions coming, guys. Hopefully, you know, well, not hopefully, maybe a few people will join. We've got 10 strong viewers out of 1,000 possible subscribers watching us. I know who my friends are here, guys, so keep watching. I'm not even fucking pissed yet, so, you know, stay tuned for that. From Liverpool and drinking Yankee whiskey. Well, no, that's where you're wrong. Jack Daniels isn't... It says it's whiskey, but it's not, is it? It's Southern Comfort. I like Jack Daniels, you know, it's cheap enough. I've tried that Hague Club whiskey. Again, not proper whiskey. It's David Beckham's brand or something like that. I love a whiskey. I love the single malt. My dad's got some of that under the stairs, but only for Christmas. Prefer Scotch, yeah. Yeah, VTR, Dave Rome certainly does have some great cars. You know, I couldn't believe my eyes when he messaged me with all these cars and said, by the way, I'm just a stone's throw away from you. I love the look of the new 90. Ooh, am I missing something there? What's Bailey Westby? What's the new 90? We've got some chats going on in the comment. Need Matty to review one of those Cavaliers. Yeah, I'd love a Cavalier. I love cars with that just got a sort of story to tell, I guess. And the Cavalier, you know, we've got, if you've seen A to B Modern Motoring and the way the market was with the fleet and everything back in the day and what fleet car you had, it just excites me, you know, all that sort of stuff. So I could definitely do a good write-up on something like a Cavalier. Let's see. Oh, here's a question. Will Flips. Hi, Will. Emerging YouTuber there. I'll get onto that in a minute. Hi, if you could have any pre-2000s car, what would you have? Can I have more than one? Because the obvious answers are Vauxhall Nova, Citroen AX, something British, something Rover. I like the Montego. I like the Maestro more. In terms of 70s sort of British stuff, I do get it. I get the appeal, but you know, I wouldn't have one per se. 80s and 90s cars, when we're talking pre-2000s, is more my bag. So yeah, me two ambitions, which I've said, and something like something British, like a Maestro or something. There was a light blue one on Car and Classic for months and months. Some guy just trying to clear some space. BTR, I would love a Metro. I'd love a Metro. I'd have a Mini Metro or the one after that, the Rover Metro. Yeah, I've had a lift in Twin Cams Metro. It was just a riot. I couldn't drive it, but yeah, it was a great car. 2 Cavalier SRIs and a base spec cab is what Dave Rome's got. If anyone's interested, I'm sure. Well, you're probably reading all this in the chat, aren't you? BTR, get some vodka, mate. A lot stronger. You trying to get me pissed? No, I can't, honestly. Vodka sends me blind. No, I've got some stories about the old vodka. What I do though, right? So I drink beer, but on a night out, like beer proper bloats you and, you know, makes you a bit sort of. So what I do is I start off on the spirits at the start of the night, drink them fast, obviously work my way through them, and then towards the end of the night when I'm trying to not sober up, because I'm, you know, I don't drink and drive, but sort of slow down a bit, I go on to the beers and drink that slower. And you know, it's a lot of people do it the other way round, but I'm straight on the Jack Daniels tonight. It's my favourite drink, you know, that I can afford anyway. Lovely drink. Right, of course, yeah. It's a Steven Gerrard impression there, if anyone's having 10 viewers at a time for a first live stream is excellent. Well, thank you very much. You know, I wasn't expecting 999, and I certainly wasn't expecting more than 11 or 10 or whatever it is we're on now. I'm happy. I would have been happy if you know, 3 or 4 people had turned up and we'd have a good old chat. You know what I mean? I'm slurring my words now. I've already had one. Right, let's carry on. Is there any more? What's your opinion on the MG3? Right, okay, brilliant question. You might have seen on the podcast I said, did I say? I think I did say I'd have an MG3 if I had to buy another car. Ironically, the Saxo took the knock like the next week, and I had to think about what I'd buy for a new car. I said I'd have an MG3, and I would. I think they're one of few cars really where if you want a modern first car or a modern car, the MG3 is a real alternative, a real good one to have. And it's not alternative because it's shit, it's alternative because, you know, it just is. And I really like the MG3. I've driven a lot of them. Really good cars. The only issue I have, and you know, this is an issue I have with all new cars, is that they're very big compared to, you know, something like an AX or a Saxo. So that's something I'd have to get used to, you know, the visibility and everything like that. And, you know, on with visibility, A-pillars very, very thick. So I don't feel like I'm, you know, as involved as with the Saxo. But, you know, that is a bubble that I'm going to have to burst, you know, I won't be driving around in something like a Saxo in 30 years, let's be honest. So yeah, I would have an MG3. I do like them. Hydraulic power steering as well, which is always good. There's a lot of... Do you know what? It's a really underrated car, the MG3. I can't think of... I've driven a few of them and I can't think of any real problems that I've got with them. I like the pre-facelift better than the new one, the facelift. And I know the early ones do have problems, but no, I do really like the MG3. Very good question. Have you seen the new 508? I certainly have. It's a looker. You know, I'm no stranger to taking the piss out of Peugeot, but really now, same with Hyundai. You know, I take everything back. The cars that they're making are just fantastic. The old 508, I didn't drive it, did I? I just tested it. The old 508 SW, top spec GT line, lovely car. You know, I've got a lot of time for manufacturers who carry on making estate cars. Yeah, new 508, beautiful car. You know, Peugeot and Hyundai, but particularly Hyundai, they're at the top of the game at the moment. You know, Hyundai with these electric cars, they're making Teslas look 10 years out of date. I'm getting a 1 litre bottle of Russian Standard to drink at Christmas. Happy days, certainly is. 90 Defender, the 3-door version. Ah, yes, okay. Do like the old 3-door versions of the Defender, but like I said, I wouldn't have the 3-door version of the new one. I don't know why. Yeah, the Defenders are brilliant cars. Here's a good question. I'm going to ask this myself. I don't care if anyone else wants to know, but would I have, if I had to choose a new Defender or an old Defender? I really don't know, because I do like them both. My friend back in the day, his mum and dad, they bought a Discovery in the end because the Defender would have been too uncomfortable on long journeys. But in the end, they bought an old Discovery. I don't usually like new cars, but damn, that is a good one. Yeah, it really is. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of the YouTubers, I mean, not a lot of the YouTubers, but some of the YouTubers I watch, you know, they're really sort of dead set on what they'd have and that. But, you know, if I find a nice, good car, don't forget I drive modern cars for work and that. So, if I find a good modern car I like, I'm not gonna, you know, dismiss it because it's modern. I'm gonna, if I like it, I'll say, yeah, I like that. Would I have one? No. Let's move on. No, I'm only joking. If it comes to it, I'd have one. An MG3, for example, you know. If the Saxo got written off and they give me one of them as a courtesy car, I wouldn't be bleating on YouTube about it going, oh, I only drive pre-2000s cars, you know. But anyway. James Newman, hello mate. Sup mate, sup? How's the Saxo doing lately? She's fine mate, yeah, she's all good. I think we're about to hit about 90,000 on the Saxo, so, you know, I think statistically there's a little bit more life left in that old car. She's just got a few little scabby bits to do at the moment, which I need to get done. The lambda sensor has needed replacing for about 3 years, and I need to replace that. It's got a few odd little leaks here and there. There's an oil leak, but it's, you know, it's never anything major. It's just little scabby bits that need doing on the Saxo, which, you know, you'll see a video about in the new year. Yeah, it's good, mate. It's running fine. It's all good. It's just been serviced. I might do the spark plugs on that by myself. Don't think they've been done for a couple of years now. The new Peugeot 508 is absolutely stunning. Yes, certainly is, mate. Yeah. That's it. Nice to see them back on form. That's the problem, isn't it? Like, you know, that Top Gear film about Peugeot. Do you remember it? I've never laughed so much about the Top Gear segment, but that came just as the right time, because if they'd have released that any later, you know, it would have been irrelevant, because Peugeot just turned themselves around for you know, for years, you wonder, don't you? I mean, they were part of a conglomerate, of course, of manufacturers, but I think if they'd have been on their own, independent, they would have went bust years ago, because the cars they were making, they just absolute bloaters. They were horrible, and unreliable as well, really. But I don't know what the reliability is like these days. I think it has improved. Um, yeah, we've got Ford Sierras. Ooh, I'd love a Sierra. I didn't mention that before on the pre 2000, but I'd love an old saloon like that. Yeah, or they were hatchbacks, weren't they? But yeah, I even like the jelly mode ones. Let's get my hand out the way because that looks a bit fucking freaky, doesn't it? Sorry for the swearing if anyone's offended by that. You do tend to fucking go a bit. See, I've done it again. You do tend to swear like a Ronald Trooper when you're on the drink, don't you? It's a shame we hit 1,000 subscribers in the winter and not the summer, because if it was the summer, we'd be having a 1,000 subscriber barbecue outside in the yard, and of course you'd be able to smoke as well. But anyway, Ford Sierras, yeah, I just again, it's a car with a story, isn't it? The old Sierra. It was Ford changing direction, and they were such a powerful company that even though it wasn't well received, in the end, it paid dividends, didn't it? One of my dream cars is a Sierra. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's one of my dream cars. I guess it is, actually. You know, I've got loads of dream cars, isn't it? You just sort of, you know, yeah, I've got loads. What made you choose a Saxo as a first car? So, I think, Will, you weren't here at the start of the live stream, but I have mentioned this. Basically, look, cause a long story short, the cars I wanted, they basically didn't exist. I wasn't able to find what I wanted. So I had a little look round, and you know, I did search for a Saxo, to be fair, just because I knew that they were slightly thin on the ground, a little bit alternative to your Fizzers and your Golfs and your Polos and your Astras. And I quite liked the Saxo. I'd done the research. They, you know, the reviews said that they weren't half bad. Pedals a bit close together and that. And I thought I'll go for that. And when I seen the one I wanted near my house, and I went to see it and I liked it, I said I'll take a punt on that, and I bought it. And you know, it was 17 years old at the time, so you know, I didn't think it'd last. But I'm the type of person, when I buy something expensive and high, well, it was £700, but it's expensive for the 19-year-old kid. You know what I mean? So when I buy something expensive, I'm not the type of person who has to upgrade, or you know, I look after things and I keep it. So that's the reason why I've had the Saxo so long, and that's the reason why I wasn't really bothered about what I drove, in the sense, you know, it didn't have to be expensive, it didn't have to be, you know, all that. So yeah, I drove the Saxo, I liked it. It's as simple as that. It wasn't like a really mad decision, you know what I mean? But you know, having said that, I didn't think I'd love it as much as I did, because you know, like I said, I've still got it now. Drove a Sierra Sapphire. So you, hang on, Joseph, you've driven an Astra and a Sierra Sapphire in one day. You see, this is what I mean. You know, you're a celebrity, Joseph. You're getting offered all these. So am I, actually. I'm getting offered all these cars now on the live stream. Sierra Sapphire, right here. They were. I watched the video on. Is anyone on that channel, Rover? ROVR. I watched the. This is how sad I am. I watched the whole sort of salesman's training video on one of them, and I can't remember actually what Sapphire, where it was in the spec. I'll have to go back to my notes. I do the same, Matty. Cannot beat spirits on a night out. Well, yeah, I mean, it, if you want to get pissed, that's what you go for, isn't it? But yeah, you just got to be careful, otherwise you'll end up walking home, or paying 50 quid when you throw up in the back of someone's Sierra taxi. I own, this is James Newman, I own a bright blue 2002 Citroen Saxo 1.5 diesel, and ever since I purchased it like a month ago, haven't had any problems. Well, it's only been a month, mate, don't hold your breath. No, I'm only joking, they're good cars. She's been running like water, sometimes cold, sometimes hot. Right. that to me. So it's, hang on. So you're saying, I'm assuming you're saying that sometimes it's running rich, and sometimes, and the opposite word isn't poor. It's something else. So are you saying it's idling high and idling low? Get that checked out. It's not. You know, it's never normally something major. But you know, I had that with mine. Um, yeah. I think that's what you're saying. I'm just guessing. Keep your questions coming. I'm scrolling through them, guys. I was seriously blessed both the Sapphire and Mark 1 Astra today. Certainly was, mate. Few cars. Oh, here's Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Mr. Manning. Mr. Lloyd. Mr. Mackland and I are enjoying you speaking about the pre-facelift MG3. Ah, of course, yeah. You both. Well, you had one, Lloyd Vehicle Consulting, and Lewis Mackland has one at the moment. Yeah, do you know what? Brilliant cars, MG3s. I love an underdog. Do you know what I mean? I've seen reviews where people are slating them, saying this, that, and the other, and you just think, oh, you know, if that had a Ford badge on it, you wouldn't be saying that. There is a certain amount of snobbery, even from motoring journalists. I just say what I see, sort of thing. To quote, God, who said, say what you see, if you see it, say it. Don't know, can't remember. Old Defender, I'm assuming you're saying you prefer one of them. I liked your speaker upgrade, says Jay. Have you ever thought that you would install a subwoofer in your Saxo? Yes, that's something I want to do next year. It's a hard one with mods because there's a lot of people. I'll just have a drink, excuse me. I'm going to watch this back, it's going to be so cringe. Anyway, subwoofer, yeah. The hard thing with me is there's a lot of people who watch my channel for the Saxo who are desperate for me to mod it. They're desperate for me to remap it and, you know, fit a Cobra exhaust and things like that. I don't want that. Do you know what I mean? I want it, you know, sort of to come across as a nice sort of stock, nice, fairly nice condition car. But a subwoofer, yeah, I certainly would, and I certainly will do that. You know, it's looking like the Saxo's got a little bit more life in it, so, you know, next year, depending on the MOT, unless Simon in the MOT place says, mate, I love this car, but you need to get rid, then, you know, I certainly will be doing other stuff. Look at that, 43 minutes already, and we're still going pretty strong. If everyone starts to sort of drop off, then yeah, we'll end it there. But other than that, I'll go for as long as you want to. Yeah, we've done that. I would rather have the old 110, but the new 90, 110 new 90. Oh, we're on Defender Speak, aren't we? Tom's Motors. Are you a fan of classic American cars? Again, no, not really. You know, I don't know. I don't. American cars just don't do it for me. No, not about that. Mr. Lloyd, both absolutely love the me and Mr. Lloyd, I'm assuming, both love the MG3. It's perfect if you want an older car feeling. Yes, it's true that heavier steering, yeah, but need new reliability and practicality. It's perfect. You know, it is. It fills a gap. Really good cars. You know, I can't say it enough. So here we go. So Joseph saying January 2016 onwards. Stop. Yeah. Better. My favourite hatchback, says Tom's Motors, is of course the Fiesta, because it's a little runaround. Are we talking new Fiesta or old Fiesta? I do understand why the Fiesta is one of the best selling cars. You know, well, it's not anymore, is it? But you know, I understand why the Fiesta sells well. But it's for me, for my tastes, it's just too common. It's just too the obvious choice. It's just not. No, it doesn't do it for me. I learned to drive in one, the new one. I know it's been facelifted now, and I learned to drive, and it's got a lovely gearbox. My ma's got a Fiesta Active. The ride is slightly worse than the standard Fiesta, but you know, the gearbox and the way it goes down the road. You know, it's a lovely car. I want a 106. I remember them 106 Quicksilvers. Great looking car. I do like the 106. It's the little sister, or the big brother, I should say, to the Saxo, because it came first. But I think the Saxo, I'm more swayed towards the styling and the design of that sort of thing. Both the Mark VI and Mark VII Fiesta are excellent from that point of view, although I'm not a fan of the 1 litre EcoBoost, aka EcoBoom engines. I was talking about the EcoBoost engine on the Fizzer with my mum the other day, because she's went into Ford to trade a Fiesta Active in, and it's not coming till April, but she's got a Focus Active with the EcoBoost engine. But since I've started working, you know, in the motor trade, and you know, alongside mechanics sort of thing, I've seen what Joseph is saying, the EcoBoom thing, and you know, for a dealership that I'm in, and we've bought however many Focuses, and the amount of things that, you know, EcoBoost engines have just completely had it, you know, things got going wrong on them, they're just having to be replaced and things like that. I said to me mum, look, you want to see these, you know, 18 plate Focuses with 13,000 miles on with the 1 litre EcoBoost engine, they just go bang, you know, you don't want one. And my mum said, well listen, millions of them EcoBoost engines have been made, I've had 3 of them and it's never gone wrong. So I said, fair enough. So it's luck of the draw, isn't it, with the EcoBoost engine? They're definitely not, and I'll tell you this now, they're definitely not a durable engine at all. They definitely weren't built to last. And I suppose it depends what car they're in, because the heavier the car, and if it's got an EcoBoost engine, you know, there's a lot more strain on it. And I know it's turbocharged, but you know. Where are we? Thoughts on the Rover 800, says Tom Mitchell. Lovely cars, goes without saying. I think I'd sway more towards a 75, because the 800 is, you know, it is slightly Honda influenced. But yeah, I do like the 800. Nice car. Trying to think of some facts to say about it. Haven't got any. Let's move on. The Mark 1 specifically. Oh, hang on. What are we on about here? Are we on about the 800? I'll have to Google Mark 1 Rover 800 just to make sure I've got this right. Hold the line, caller. Ah, yes. That Rover 800. That was the one that replaced the SD1, was it not? Yeah, like that. Prefer that to the Honda Rover 800 actually. Yeah. Know what you're on about. Again though, I'd sway towards the SD1 over the 800, the one that replaced that. We'll have to be a bit more specific here. What about the Mark IV? What are we on about here? Are we on about Fiestas? Was it you talking about Fiestas? This is all getting a bit confusing, especially as I'm on the spirits here. If you're talking about the Mark IV Fiesta, was that the square one? They've grown on me. Still a bit boring though. I'm down for a massive barbecue with the Mannings. Okay. Do you mean over live? Because that wouldn't be a problem, but just don't turn up at my house. Here's someone. So this is the Makerfield Consort. Oh, are you the one that was saying that you couldn't make it, but it looks like you've made it? I've owned a few 406s. I remember parking up in a pub car park once, and someone walked over from a 307 and said to me, last decent Peugeot made that. It probably was, to be fair. Was the 206 out after the 40... What am I looking at here? 406 though, was the 206? It must have been out at the same time. So, yeah, the 206 for me, because I like small cars, it was the last decent Peugeot for me. Apart from what they're releasing now, but you know, it's modern, isn't it? Yeah, the 406, I always remember that. I mean, I've only ever been, you know, in the back of one of them, getting a lift. But you know, from what I can remember, nice cars, nice looking cars. Has anyone seen that video of the saloon car shootout, the Top Gear one, from the early 2000s? By a country mile, the 406 was the best looking car, you know, in that thing. And you look at things like, I think the conclusion was so stupid, it was something like the Renault Laguna made the top 3 or something. All right, how many Renault Lagunas can you see now that exist? You know, you're more likely to see a fucking dodo. Anyway, Kevin Hope, oh, my best mate here. Hi, a big fella. He's just texted me as well. I've just ignored him because I'm on the live stream. I forgot that I've got actual friends that subscribe to this. Hello, Kev. Yeah, we're celebrating 1,000 subscribers, hence why I'm live on the old JD. Big hello to Kevin Hope. Big up, Kevin Hope. I have driven 2 V6 406s, both manuals. Oh yeah, I've seen your reviews, Joseph. To be fair, yeah, nice cars. Was it you drove the really high spec one? Lovely car that. Tesla Model S or Tesla Model 3? Very good question. Model 3, yeah, just because it's smaller, isn't it? It's more compact. It makes a bit more sense to me. I'll tell you my problem with Tesla. Tesla are obviously the Apple of electric cars. You know, they're basically leading the way. But, and this is a massive one for me, because coming from a motoring sort of enthusiast, I never really sort of got onto the fact how sort of understyled Teslas are until Hyundai came along with the Ioniq 5, and it's just blown Tesla from a styling perspective out of the water. You know, it makes the Tesla Model 3 look like really dated. So the technology in Tesla, although I am old car at heart, the technology on the Tesla Model 3 and all that sort of stuff, I know a lot of it's a gimmick, but you know, it's really good, really cool. Let's see. I'm just trying to skim through the conversations that are going on within the live stream. It's nice to see people networking and that. Watching sales training videos on the Rover channel, isn't it? Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it when they bring out a new one. You think, oh my god, where's he got all this stuff from? But it's brilliant. And has anyone noticed, if you've watched them, like they're just subliminal sexist comments? And if a woman comes into your dealership, don't show her under the bonnet, she won't be interested. And you think, oh my god, you wouldn't get away with that now. You'd have a whole, you know, sort of rampage on your hand from. But you know, that was the way it was. Yeah, all Fiestas are brilliant, says Tom's Motors. They certainly are, but it's just, I don't know, maybe because I'm a little bit sort of alternative. I love that channel, Matty. Rover is excellent. It really is. There's another one as well. I forget what it's called. Oh god. But if anybody wants to know, I can let you know. Message me with what that is. Wilson Detailing, hey bro, yo brother, you alright mate? I drove a Mark II automatic earlier this year, even that was fun. Oh, there was a problem with the server. Oh, I've got it. I'm not sure about the automatics yet. This is a Pablo Escobar. The Pablo Escobar, hello. Nice cars. Are you right? You are right about some of the silly reviews of the MG3s. They are an easy car to target for ridicule, but ours and all the others I have driven have been pretty good. All the ones I've driven have been good. Did you answer my question? Am I going to have to rewatch this? Oh, Wilson Detailing says that. Yeah, I answered your question, mate. Hit me up about comparing VTR with 1 litre. Yeah, we'll sort something out. It might be difficult, but we'll sort something out. Am I right in saying you're in Scotland? Yeah, let me know. You know, if you want to meet halfway in the lakes or something. Otherwise, we'll sort something out. I'm enjoying the live, mate. What's the first 3 cars you would buy if you won the lottery? It's such a hard question, because I'm not into me. I am into me sports cars and that. You know, I am, and because I haven't driven any sort of mad supercars and that. You know, I don't know the thrill that, you know, makes everybody on Top Gear and stuff, you know, sort of wet themselves. But I wouldn't buy one. Do you know what I mean? It's just not my thing. And I done on the podcast the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire challenge, and you know, we mate Bailey's saying all mad cars, and I'm like, ooh, I buy a nice brand new car. So if I won the lottery, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I buy all the classic cars I wanted to buy, which would be Nova SRI. I probably would fork out for a Saxo VTS, even though I'd be fixing all the same problems I've had with me 1 litre. I'd love an original Mini, really would. And I know that's an obvious choice, but you can't beat the Mini, can you? God, I don't know. There was a sports car that I liked. Yeah, I sound like an old person, don't I? I don't know. But you know, all that money with the lottery, what would you do with it? You know, I'm sure some of you'd know, but I just wouldn't know what to do with it. What about the new Focus? Oh, isn't it just a facelift, or is it a brand new one? Or are we talking about the new Focus as in the one that's been out for like 2 years? It's a nice car. I've driven it. The automatic's nice as well, but fucking hell did they go wrong. ST version, you mean? Okay. Can't comment really. I haven't driven one. Do like it. I've drove a Fiesta ST. Good fun. Good fun. The STs. That's ST is in the car, not the STs. But yeah, good cars. I love the Mark 1 and Mark 2 Focus RS. Yeah, you're speaking my language. Good cars, bound to be classics, aren't they? Yeah, I'd have a Mark 1 Focus RS. I'd have a Mark 1 Focus. My mum had one back in the day, 3-door, base spec. You know, living the dream. Yeah, again, the thing that's put me off about a Mark 1 Focus, I know they're sort of getting a bit thin on the ground, but even with classic Fords, you know, they're just Escorts and that. They're just a bit of an obvious choice for me, and it makes me sound like I've got a vendetta against Ford. I haven't. Yeah, it's just I just don't think they're my bag. Do you know what I mean? But I do like them. They're good cars. The Mark 1 Focus handles exceptionally well, and it was such a big step forward to Ford. You know, it really dragged them into the 21st century, because the Escort wasn't doing them any favours, was it? Where are we now? We've had EcoBoosts for 8 years and not a single engine issue. Yeah, my mum's had them. It's just luck of the draw, isn't it? I don't recommend the Mark. I never know how to pronounce. I wasn't listening in history, but VII. Am I pronouncing that right? Fiestas to anyone unless they have a Zetec engines and the manual gearbox, as the EcoBoom engines and the power shift automatic. No, the automatics. You know, forget it, really. Rover were running out of designs towards the end, which is why they stopped making them. Oh, I don't know, you know, mate, because if you have a look at a video on YouTube, Rover, what could have been, you know, you see the designs for like SUVs and that, and obviously with the Streetwise, they weren't meaning to be saying, look at us, we're ahead of the curve, but they were. You know, have a look at the shite that's out now. It's exactly like, you know, the Rover Streetwise. Joseph Lloyd saying he remembers the saloon car shootout. That was from, yeah, it was from really late on Top Gear, wasn't it? 2000, 2001. You're absolutely right. You know, how many of those cars do you see today? I still see a fair few Vectras and that knocking about. Old, you know, really Mark 1 Vectras. But that's about it, really. French car can be unreliable, especially Peugeot, which are okay depending on which model. You're absolutely right. The Prince engines in the Peugeot, avoid it with a barge pole. I don't think, I mean, with French cars, yes, some of the engines do go wrong, but again, with French cars, the main bugbear with them, especially the early 2000s ones, where, you know, electricals, they really, you know, when they go wrong, they go wrong. And my dad's mate, who's a mechanic, said don't buy French, because as well as the electrics, the stuff on them is just really hard to get to fix. So, you know, what does that mean? Well, it means the mechanic is charging you an extra £100 an hour labour sort of thing. So with French cars, you know, tread carefully, especially if they're full of gizmos and that, because the chances are, you know, where are we up to? I prefer the 308 GTI. Prefer it to what? The Fiesta ST? Do you like the 308 GTI, Matty? I like the 308. I can imagine the GTI would be very good. Here's the BL lover. That stands for British Leyland. Yo, Matty. Yo. Good choices on the cars. Thank you very much. They are good cars. The Fiesta ST. Yeah, I've driven one. There's a video on it on my channel. Really liked it. Really good car. Yeah, and I watch what's his name, proper Essex boy, B70MY, with all his mad cars, and he had a Fiesta ST on and off. Answers me. Are you saying answer me? Oh, hang on. What are we saying? What about the XR2? Oh wow. Okay, I'm going to answer your question now, Simon. Just calm down, mate. XR2 free, yeah, I'm on. Yeah, I'd have an Escort, I'd have a Fiesta, I'd have, yeah, they're if just think of all, I know a lot of people who had them cars back in the day, and if you knew then what you know now, you know, you'd be a millionaire. Well, not a millionaire, but yeah, I like them cars, and apparently they were brilliant, good fun. Would you say the Escort Mark 6 is a reliable car? Because I do like them, especially the late. Yeah, okay, so I can answer that actually. I can answer that very honestly. My granddad had one of them, brand new, bought one in 1997. Oh, that's a good double that I've just made there. Shit. Yeah, my granddad had a Mark 6 Escort, brand new, 1997. I weren't here, obviously, but he had it all the way through until about 2016, and there's a story behind that, but anyway, I can tell you that that was a very reliable car. He did have to have some welding done on it, and on the other hand, he did only do 60,000 miles in that car since the year 1997, so possibly a high mileage car. You may have more problems with the Mark 6 Escort, but it was a very reliable car, and he had a Mark 1.6 engine in it. And I think as well, forgive me if I'm wrong, you might correct me, but some of those engines from the Mark 6 Escort were carried over into the Mark 1 Focus until the Z-Tech engine came out. I might be completely wrong about that, but I don't think I am. MG Metro, yeah, okay, so we're talking now. If I was to have a Metro, I'd have an MG Metro, I think. You can't get them now. And I think the MG Maestro in black, obviously, really cool, really nice car. I mean, they're slow by today's standards, but, you know, really good cars and, you know, good fun. Not that I've driven one. We are getting to the end of, well, I'm catching up, basically, with the questions. We've still got, we've got 13 people watching. So, if you want to carry on, if you don't, let me know. But if you want to carry on, I'll know. If you ask some more questions, you know, just go wild. Feel free. You know, you're never going to get me being more honest in the state that I am now. So that didn't make sense. But I will be the most honest with you because I've had a few drinks. That's what I'm trying to say. Where are we up to here? Yes, you are talking about the MG Rover RD. I certainly am. So that's about the Rover what could have been video, I'm assuming he means. And the design was actually quite good, to be fair. The Prince engines are absolutely terrible. They certainly are. I wouldn't recommend it to my worst enemy, the Prince engine. Is the bread shop bakery still doing the business? Okay, someone's asking me about this independent bakery in Liverpool. Yeah, I think it is still open. I think it is still doing business. I don't know, to be honest. I don't go near it. Well done on 1k subscribers, by the way, says the BL lover. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's, you know, I'm dead happy. 1,000 subscribers. Obviously, it's not conventional, but this channel, but you know, YouTube, we've learned, hasn't, you know, it doesn't have to be conventional, especially car YouTube. You know, whatever you're into, there's a channel for you, isn't there? And I remember when I started out, obviously I'm not going to claim I was the first proper car YouTuber. There will have been loads of people who started when I started, but the only YouTubers to be found were, you know, the likes of Car Buyer and stuff, who were doing, you know, reviews and that. So, you know, I really love that YouTube's emerged and that there's so many. You know, I'm 22 now, so I'm, you know, I'm not really a kid, but you know, all like the lads on YouTube coming on, you know, who are 17, 18, starting their channels like I was when I was, well, I started mine when I was 14, but you know what I mean. All the new faces coming on, and you know, people starting their own channels and that. You know, it's all good. I like it, and I'll subscribe to people who I want to watch. You know what I mean? Love my series. Oh, no, I've lost it. Love my Series A Metro, but it is very rattly. Well, yeah, they all wear it's mad how you look at the old reviews and people are saying, well, actually, the Astra is slightly more refined, but you get in every single one of them, and they're all running like you've got a bag of spanners in the back and all that sort of stuff, or, you know, the trim's rattling and, you know, cracked and all that. And I know they weren't like that from new, but, you know, they probably weren't far off. Matty's cars, yes, the Mark 6, sorry, the 1.6 Z-Tech in the old Escort is very similar to the one. Yes, it is. Yep. Okay, I was right. I'm going to do a review on the 2014 Ford Galaxy. Is it reliable? Don't know, as far as I know. Do you collect any model cars or Hot Wheels? Ah, very good question. I'll show you the only model car that I've got. Hang on, I'm coming back now. I'm coming back. I'm here. Whoa. It was a long trip. This is the only model car that I've got. This is a silver Saxo VTS 1.6 16 valve. Very accurate. Hasn't got the sunroof like mine, obviously, but I bought this because I've got a silver Saxo, and I thought it'd be nice. And yeah, that's on my shelf over there. So I don't collect them, but I have got this one. Let me pick up my phone, and more importantly, pick up my drink. Let's see. Do you like coffee? Absolutely love coffee. Can't live without it. I like, if we're talking instant, I like that Nescafe Azera. I mean, we're getting very, very into it now, but I love Nescafe Azera. Lovely coffee. Love coffee fresh in the cafetiere. Oh yeah, get the nice coffee from TK Maxx. And when I'm out and about, Cafe Nero or any independents that do coffee, always like to give them a try. So yes, big lover of coffee. Shalom, shalom. If you've ever seen Friday Night Dinner, or you are in fact Jewish, shalom. Or old brochures. Ooh, old brochures is a good one. I don't collect old brochures, but I do collect old car magazines from back in the day. I've got a few of them which I might go through on a video. I'm not too sure. Let me know if you'd like to see them. But yeah, I collect old car magazines and old issues of Auto Express and that. I forgot about that. I've got the very first issue of the Auto Express when it came out, and obviously if you know the Auto Express now, it's about what, the size of an A4 piece of paper. Back then, mate, it was like a big broadsheet sort of thing, like the Telegraph, or the Torygraph, we should say. Yeah, so I collect old magazines. Matty, you should do video of car shows or events on your channel. That would be brilliant, and people really love stuff like that. Okay, so in terms of shows, yeah, I want to go to some next year. I've never been to any, which is a shame, really. I was supposed to be exhibiting my car last year, in the Ormskirk Motorfest, but obviously that got cancelled. The organisers moved it to another date and another location, and then cancelled it and never let me know. So I ended up having to message Twin Cam Cars and say, is it still going ahead? And he said, no, it's been cancelled. No one told me. So one of the shows I'm desperate to go to is Festival of the Unexceptional next year, so I probably will be there for that, if anyone wants to say hello. and what was the other one I wanted to go at? The BMC British Leyland show. I do love British Leyland, believe it or not. I love, you know, I love the cars. Some of them I would own, some of them I wouldn't, but I do love the cars. And what else was I going to say? I love the sort of politics and the history behind it. You know, it's got a big, rich history. Some of it quite staggered and negative, but you know, it's a good, it's a funny story, isn't it, with the whole British Leyland thing and the strike and the scandal and all that sort of stuff. Oh, we've got some lovely comments and lovely questions here. Keep them coming, only if you want to. You know, I'm here for as long as you want me to be here, and as pissed as you want me to get. I haven't even had my tea yet, as I say. I got stuck in traffic. Seen your video on the Matty recently, and I loved it. I bought one recently to save on fuel money. My primary car prior to it was an M3 E30. Well, an E30 M3 isn't, you know, the Matty hasn't got a patch on that really in terms of performance, is it? But yeah, fuel economy, yeah. It was Boss driving the Matty. I've never ever driven it until that video. And if you look at my channel, I'd done that car years ago. It was absolutely tragic. My face was like that because I was 13, you know, on the very realms of puberty, I think, at that age. And squeaky voice hadn't quite broken yet, so quite a funny video. And it was nice to be reunited with that car. I mean, the car's an absolute bin, but, you know, don't let me answer here, you say that. Well, listen, like 71 minutes, and we've still got 11 people watching. That's absolutely fantastic. I'm very grateful for your support. I'm not a very sort of, you know, don't wear my heart on my sleeve sort of person, but I am very thankful for the 1,000 subscribers, the lovely loyal viewers who are watching tonight, and who are commenting and asking questions and doing that on all the videos I release. You know, I really appreciate it. So I'll get to some more of your questions. Obvious model car choice, obvious model car to choose. Yeah, you know what? Well, if the Saxo goes, I'll always have. Where is it? I'll always have the old model Saxo to well, to cry onto, basically. But yeah, isn't it the VTS? Look at the alloys. I mean, I know it's not a real one, but you know, lovely car. You know, they got it just right. Even though it was a 106 design. Where we are. Where are we, I should say. I want that model car like mine in black. If you look online, mate, you can find them. Some of them I think you can get from posted to the UK, like from the UK. It's based in the UK, but some of them would come from abroad. So you've got to do the conversion with the euro and that. You might think this is expensive, but I paid 34 quid for that, and you know, as an ornament, as a little memento, it was worth every penny to me. Die cast or plastic? It is a die cast. It is a die cast model, yeah. Might be worth something in a few years, you never know. I have took it out the box, but I've kept the box. So if I take it on Antiques Roadshow, I'll just put a bit of tape over it and hope for the best. 2-litre diesel engine, is this to do with a conversation that's already happening? If it isn't, you know, be a bit more specific and I will certainly answer your question. That'd be ace to see your old magazines, mate. Okay, so if someone wants to see them, yeah, it's just how I'd format the videos, you know what I mean? I've got the magazines, all the journalism and write-ups there, obviously, but it's what you would read, what you wouldn't read, what you'd show, what you wouldn't show, what would be boring, what wouldn't be boring. But I you know, I'll be sure to have a little think into it and see what I could do. I would love a Ford Sierra die-cast car. Yeah, an interesting car. You know, the pre-facelift, I prefer actually to the facelift. The facelift looks a little bit like American to me, but you know, I wouldn't turn my nose up at either of them. Joe Kyle, view on Kosovo. Again, we'll have to do a little Google of this. The Republic of Kosovo. Okay. Well, if you're talking about the place, I've never heard of it, so I don't have any opinion on that. And yeah, I'm sorry, Joe Kyle, about that. Don't have the view on it. Is there some sort of war or political thing going on there? I don't know. Let's see. Matty's Cars says Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. See you at the BMC and Leyland Show and Festival of the Unexceptional. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I decided last year that I'm gonna go. I wanted to go this year. I was very nearly going to the NEC Classic Motor Show. I would have only been able to go on the Sunday because I was working in my other job for the Saturday, and I was really debating whether to go. And I know it's sort of one that you've got to do in a few days to really appreciate it, but I said, should I just, because you could book tickets right up to the last minute, so I thought, should I just go for the Sunday? But I never ended up going for the day. Let's see, how many cars do you have, Matty? 2, 1 too many. I've got the 205 laid up in storage, waiting to be fixed. It's really stressing me out. Don't talk to me about the 205. Yeah, I've got the 205 and the Saxo. I buy and sell a few occasionally, and I mean occasionally. So yeah, 2 cars at the moment, mate. Your 4K video was great. Do you hire that 4K or did you buy it? No. So thank you for your comments on the 4K video. No, so I borrowed it. It was my mum's uncle's car. So I borrowed that car. You know, I asked him if I could review it, and he said yeah. So that was the story with that one. Congratulations on... Oh, hang on, we've missed one. Harry Elsham, friend of the channel. Matty! Harry! You alright, mate? Not too bad, thanks for asking. David Scott, congratulations on 1K subscribers to this YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Greetings and holiday salutations, lovely word, from your favourite Ford Focus driver here in the USA. Haha. Is the Focus called the Focus over in the US? Obviously it is. Hello mate, how are you? Oh, lost it. Friend of mine had a 2-litre petrol. Okay, so VTR, it looks great, mate. I'm assuming you're talking about the model, or the model. Let's see. I can give you the complete history of the Ford EXP, the grandfather, the Ford Escort ZX2, the father, and the Ford Focus ZX3, the son, if you are willing to be bored to tears. Would you like to join the live stream? No, I'm joking. Look, if people have their passions, and people are... So when people message me on Instagram talking about what they want to talk about, I listen to it, and, you know, I reply, and I try to have a conversation. So if you'd like to send me a message with the history, you know, I will listen. Let's see, Matty's Cars. Will you ever see the return of Buster Cherry? Very good question, Joseph. For those of you who don't know, I'll tell a story about Buster Cherry while we've got 17 watching now, or no, 15 watching. So if anyone wants to ask any more questions, I'll tell the story about Buster Cherry while you think of some questions, or tell me to sod off. But anyway, for those who don't know, Buster Cherry was a college project, so a character I came up with for a college project to film, and that was a video of the Ford Puma. So I put that on YouTube with this character Buster Cherry, full of innuendos, some sort of 70s styled Top Gear guy presenter for a magazine car show, full of innuendos and inappropriate comments and that sort of thing. Video went down really well, got good grades for it in college, and I thought I'd release a sequel the year after. That was alright received, and I released another Buster Cherry this year that we're coming to an end to now. So the question, will we see a return to Buster Cherry? At the moment, no. If you watch the 3rd instalment of Buster Cherry, you can sort of guess that his fate is sort of sealed, can't you, by what happens, that he runs over the little boy, yeah, and he was already on his final warning anyway, and he's ran over this boy, and it's not looking good for him. So that, for me, what I wanted to do with that 3rd Buster Cherry episode was sort of conclude that, you know, Buster Cherry is old news. Would we ever see a return? Possibly. But the reason I called time on Buster Cherry is not only because it takes writing, filming, and it takes me looking like an absolute strange person dressed in all these wacky clothes, but also because the channel was at the time and is now getting a little bit bigger and a little bit more, you know, got a little bit more of an audience. And I thought, well, not a lot of people get Buster Cherry, so I thought, well, I'm going to move on to different things, such as going to shows and which I haven't done yet, but doing other sort of types of content. So never say never with Buster Cherry, Joseph Lloyd. So what's the next one? VTR, I've got to shoot off, Matty. I'm off out, mate. Oh, get on it, mate. But it was great to hear what you are interested in. You're a great guy and have a great night. Yeah, bye. See you later. Have a good night, mate. What age were you into cars, Matty? Very young age. Very, very young age. Yeah, just, I don't know how I got into it because I was so young. I can't remember, but playing with cars as a kid, books and stuff. Well, I never passed my test till I was 19 because, you know, I just didn't think I'd be able to afford cars and that, and the insurance and that. But yeah, I big into cars from a very young age. Yeah, 17 people watching now. Oh my god, I'm getting a bit of a numb bum here, but we shall carry on as long as you ask the questions. VTR has gone. He's gone to enjoy his night. Pull a bird for me, mate. Next question. This is from Mark Punt. We don't want to get that pronunciation wrong, do we? Mark Punt. Have to go now. I haven't eaten yet. Neither have I, mate. Fucking hell. Thanks for doing this. It will be good to do it again. Certainly will, mate. See you soon. Get us to 5,000 subscribers and we'll do it again. No, I'm only joking. We'll do one before then. For the sake of your mental health, I will just give you the brief history. Okay. Buster Cherry is absolutely hilarious. Thank you, Joseph. I like the character. I like writing them. It's good fun. But you know, I'm just calling time on it just for now. What are your thoughts on the brilliant, amazing, fabulously Saxo electric? Oh, is this the one you were looking at? Good idea, isn't it? I do like the sound of the Saxo engine, even though it isn't meant to sound good. This is the one, Lisa, by the way. But yeah, an electric version of the Saxo, it's the future. If you want to keep your car on the road, the likes of economy cars like Saxos, Micras, stuff that doesn't really, you know, get your pulse racing, apart from the VTRs, of course. Going electric is the solution. And have you, Wilson Detail, did you buy that Saxo? Are you importing it from Norway? Let me know. I have to go now as well, sir. Excellent first live stream. I will send you a message privately. Thank you very much, Joseph. I'll see you soon. Yeah, we've gone for a good 83 minutes. So yeah, thanks for watching, Joseph. Appreciate your comments and your participation. No more questions have come through just now. So I think we'll call time. Yeah, I'm gonna say goodbye. Yeah, no one is no one is coming through. 13 people, we're all gonna drop off. Yeah, dropping like flies. Okay, boys, listen, thanks for joining me for the live stream. 83 minutes, can't argue with that, can we? Thanks very much for watching. We've all had a lovely little drink, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Hang on, who's this? Oh yeah, I needed to find out the answer. Oh, they're all coming through now. If you want to go, just go. I'll answer these questions though. Let's see. Wilson Detailing has to go. Yeah, okay. Okay, you have to go. Nah, I never bought it, sadly, as I need a new rear axle. Okay, for my own, sadly. I'll drop you a DM now about meeting up. Go ahead, mate, drop me a DM. Congrats on 1K, says I'm not a mechanic, neither am I. What do you think of the Aventime Slan and Multiplayer? Love the Multiplayer, as, you know, for what it is. It's a bit of a garish design, but, you know, I know what they were trying to do with it. I like it. Would I rather have an Aventime? 100%. And I'm not just saying that because you've got one. I do love the Aventime. I'd love to drive one. I see there's one actually that lives right by my house. And I put a note on the windscreen and explained about the channel and asked him to review it, and never got back to me. But I did do the Velsatis. There was a bit of a debate on how you pronounce that. I did do a review and drive on that. It's a lovely car. Bye, Matty. I'll drop you a DM. Yeah, I've read that. I'm sorry. Congrats on Ron K. See you in the next video. Yeah, we're all getting off. Cool. I think I've answered all the questions. I'm going to shoot off myself, have something to eat. Thanks everyone for watching. Really appreciate it. Painting with TJ has just said hi. I'm sorry, mate. I'm about to say goodbye. But yeah, if I carry on talking, it'll just turn into waffle. So without being rude, I'm going to hang up now. I'll see you later. Thank you all very much for watching. End.